Good evening, teacher. We are honored to give a presentation here. In 2020, we people around the world have experienced a great challenge, and most the whole world is threatened by this coronavirus. So I conducted with a survey with my team members. The direction of our investigation is to explore the problem of mainland China University undergraduate perceptions online learning against the backdrop of the coronavirus. In order to make our survey more comprehensive, we interviewed 197 college students in mainland China and make a questionnaire. I hope this will make our investigation more smooth and more clear. And next, my team members will discuss the view of the Chinese students on online learning during the period of the COVID-19 from the several aspects. Then my group members will discuss the problems from the following aspect.
At the beginning, let me introduce our background of study. The COVID-19 epidemic had brought great influence to people all over the world. It has seriously affected economy, education, transportation, and so on. We mainly discussed the influence on the education of Chinese college students in this topic. Since the outbreak, Chinese universities have organized online teaching with the largest scale, the largest number of online courses, and the widest coverage in a very short time. Next page is our research problem. About 14.02 million college students receive higher education in China. The epidemic situation is affecting all aspects of college students' study and life. We sampled different college students from mainland of China by using cluster sampling. They responded to a questionnaire packet that included the 20 items about their online study and those inquiring the participants' basic information. We received 197 responses. And this is our research objective. Firstly, to analyze the nature of studying online of college students in China. Secondly, to identify the impacts of COVID-19 on college students' learning. And we have two research questions. Is study online effectively to college students in China? What are the impacts of study online of college students in China?
Research design. The data for this study is primarily conducted by the quantitative method. The questionnaire is divided into two parts, Part A and Part B. Part A of the questionnaire consisted of 20 questions of 3 points frequency, like scan responses. Part B of the questionnaire consisted of 20 questions of 5 points agreement, like scan responses. Because it is easier and faster to sort out the data, so that students can browse the choices and make answers quickly. Simply, the purpose is to conduct a questionnaire survey on 20 Chinese college students' understanding of online learning in the context of COVID-19. The respondents range in age from 17 to 20 and from 21 to 24. Over 24 years old, both genders, male and female, were included in the questionnaire. The majority of undergraduates in Chinese universities are between 17 and 24 years old, while a few are over 24 years old, and both male and female students can go out university. The instrument chosen to conduct the study is questionnaire. The questionnaire was filled anonymously. A total of 197 Chinese university students respond because students trained to write questionnaire anonymously. They will not divulge their personal information, which is simple and easy to operate.
And about the research question 1, where is your hometown? 21% of the people were rural and 56% of the people were urban, and the 23% of the people were suburban. And about the question, which is your primary device for online learning? 37% of the people were desktop computer, and 41% of the people were laptop, 10% of the people were tablet, and the 12% of the people were mobile phone. And about the question, which is the primary app or platform used for your academic related group discussions? 56% of the people were used the Webex, and 32% of the people were used the Zoom. 5% of people used the Google Classroom, and 3% of the people were used the Google Meet. 2% of people were used the Microsoft Teams, and 1% of people were used the Skype. Nobody used another app. And about the which would you prefer if give a choice? 22% of the people prefer the online learning, and 80% of the people prefer the offline learning. And about the question to you, what is the main problem with online learning? 55% of the people will choose the internet connection, and 35% of the people choose the device not working well, and 10% of the people choose instability of online platforms.
Research question 2. Question 1. Do you satisfied with online learning? 2% of people strongly disagree. 32% of people disagree. 56% of people neutral. 8% of people agree. 2% of people strongly agree. Question 2. I don't feel increased pleasure because of online learning. 14% of people strongly disagree. 1% of people disagree. 29% of people neutral. 26% of people agree. 30% of people strongly agree. Question 3. I don't experience excessive worry because of online learning. 27% of people strongly disagree. 14% of people disagree. 6% of people neutral. 12% of people agree. 41% of people strongly agree. Question 4. I don't experience anxiety because of online learning. 7% of people strongly disagree. 18% of people disagree. 59% of people neutral. 10% of people agree. 6% of people strongly agree. Question 5. I interact well with my group members via online platforms. 1% of people strongly disagree. 3% of people disagree. 40% of people neutral. 49% of people agree. 7% of people strongly agree. Question 6. I interact well with my lecture via online platforms. 0% of people strongly disagree.
5% of people disagree. 39% of people neutral. 53% of people agree. 3% of people strongly agree. Question 7. I am able to understand the lessons conducted via online learning. 1% of people strongly disagree. 1% of people disagree. 56% of people neutral. 19% of people agree. 23% of people strongly agree. Question 8. I am able to understand the lectures instruction given via online learning. 0% of people strongly disagree. 1% of people disagree. 21% of people neutral. 30% of people agree. 48% of people strongly agree. Question 9. I am able to complete academic-related tasks via online modes. 1% of people strongly disagree. 3% of people disagree. 67% of people neutral. 50% of people agree. 14% of people strongly agree.
Well, in conclusion, our questionnaire clearly shows that the most Chinese university students prefer to take offline class because there are all kinds of problems will take place when students having online course, such as internet not stable, device not working well, and instability of online platform. However, most of them do not feel stressed or worried under this learning environment because they can understand their lecture well. In research, Hussein Adam, Daud Sumaya, Aram bin Hussein, and Badri Rawan draw a conclusion that advantages of online learning are cost and time effectiveness. Online learning improved participation and considered safe and more convenience. However, disadvantages of online learning are distraction, workload and technology problems. What's more, institutions should invest in online education in anticipation of emergencies, and institutions should adopt a pedagogy of care and prioritize human well-being. A study by Emily shows that data were subjected to regression analysis and 36.8% students preferred face-to-face learning instead of online learning. An increase of know-how concerning online teaching was observable for lectures. Both students and lecturers want to keep up with online courses in the future curriculum. However, in terms of the optimal amount of online learning, a significant difference between students and lecturers' perspective was observed. While students suggested 53.2%, which means standard deviation, lectures only stated 38.6%. Within the limitation of this study, students and lecturers showed a predominantly positive perspective on the implementation of online learning, providing the chance to use online learning even beyond COVID-19 in the future curriculum. At last, from our questionnaire, we can know the answer's age, devices, and feelings. I think we can also research their learning environment, because it's an important point for students' study. A noisy study surroundings will disturb them. What's more, we can also ask them about the class loads, because when students having online classes, teachers will not supervise them to take notes.
Finally, thank you very much for your patient listening. Thank you, doctor.